Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1354. This week we've been celebrating the 69th annual Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance that takes place on Sunday, August 18th at the Lodge in Pebble Beach, California. I'm so proud to have been a sponsor this year again of the Pebble Beach Concours and such a prestigious event. To learn more, go to pebblebeachconcours.net.
We always try to perceive the perfection into the forms and the technology. And when it comes to technology, it's mostly related to the materials we develop and we use in building our cars.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
What's the worst thing for your car's interior? No, it's not that milkshake the kid spilled in the back seat. It's the sun. Harmful UV rays cook your automobile's interior hour after hour when it's parked outside, even on a cloudy day. What's the solution? Covercraft sunscreens. They protect your dash, seats, and interior finishes from those damaging UV rays while keeping the interior temperature tolerable, even on the hottest summer days. No more painfully sizzling seats and steering wheels for you. They unfold quickly and easily install, stay where you put them, and are custom patterned for an exact fit. The foam core acts as a cooling insulator, and you can get yours in different colors and finishes. And they even fold up easily and store under your seat or on the floor. I've used Covercraft sunscreens for years, and they are a fast and easy solution that protect my beloved cars when they're not in the garage. Learn more and order yours at covercraft.com. Want to protect your entire vehicle? Get a car cover from Covercraft. They have those too. That's covercraft.com and tell them Mark sent you. Hello, automotive enthusiasts. I'm revved up and so excited to introduce today's very special guest calling in from San Francisco, California, Christopher Pagani. Christopher, are you buckled up and ready for a fun ride?
I'm ready to go.
I'll bet. With a last name like Pagani, you better be buckled up because things are going to go awfully quick. Christopher Pagani is the head of marketing for Pagani Automobili America. Pagani Automobili is an Italian manufacturer of spectacular sports cars and a pioneer in the carbon fiber technology. The company was founded in 1998 by Christopher's father, Horacio Pagani, and is based in San Cesario Sul Panaro near Modena, Italy. Christopher is currently living in the United States, where he has been developing and supporting the Pagani dealer network in North America. He organizes and manages Pagani corporate events and activations, bringing awareness about the brand through the press, media, and PR activities like this one here on the Cars Yeah podcast. You'll see a Pagani at the concept car display on the upper lawn at this year's Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. Christopher, I've told our listeners just a little bit about you. Would you take a brief moment, share a little bit more about your business and your very obvious passion for automobiles?
Well, thank you very much for the introduction. As you said, I'm part of the Pagani family. That's the family that founded the Pagani Automobili 21 years ago. We launched our first car in Geneva Motor Show in '99. So this is actually a very special year for us because this is the 20th anniversary of the first car. That's the Pagani.
Congratulations!
Lambda. So it's a big celebration for the family, and for me to be part of the North American team here in San Francisco. I'm glad to be spending time more in the number one market that is currently North America for our brand. So it's been an amazing school for me to be here and learn from this amazing country. And I think there are more things to come, and we are very excited for it.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, congratulations on this special anniversary. Absolutely spectacular. I was telling Christopher in our pre-show chat that a couple months ago I was at Esoteric Car Care Company, and I got to spend a day with a brand new Pagani Huayra. Incredible car. I mean, I'd known about this brand for a long time. I've seen the cars on the lawn at the Quail event, which I attend every year, but I hadn't gotten to get up close and personal. And the attention to detail, the best way I can describe this is it's a rocket ship jewel, because everything has been thought through on this car. Everything. It's just blows me away. I just kept finding things as we opened up the body panels and things. I'll tell you, Christopher, what the company there is doing and the dream that your father has created for people who want something very unique and spectacular is very, very cool. So I'm excited about talking to you today. And as we continue on your journey, I like to start with a success quote or a mantra. This is some kind of saying that's been instrumental in forming your life and your success. It's a nice way to get the inspirational tires turning here on Cars Yeah. So Christopher, take the wheel.
So this really connects with what you already said about details. We, the four of us, my father, my mother, my brother, and I, always strongly believe in art and science. So if you look at our cars, you look at there's a beauty part of it. So of course you have to have the design and the line and all the body that really is like a sexy sculpture, but also the technology. So art and science is this combination from the Renaissance, what Leonardo da Vinci was saying in the past in the Renaissance about the combination of the two things together. So the inspiration and our philosophy in the company is that we always try to perceive the perfection into the forms and the technology. And when it comes to technology, is mostly related to the materials we develop and we use in building our cars. So we've been pioneers in the carbon fiber industry and in the composite material industry. So we really look into something that is not available today in the market. So there's a lot of R&D, there's a lot of development to get the things done as we wanted to do it. So our quote is really this: art and science are combined and can work together hand in hand.
Absolutely. I love one of your father's quotes, wind blows round. Tell me a little bit about where that came from. I think it's fantastic.
So the inspiration from the wind is because the first car, the Pagani Zonda, the name Zonda comes from a wind that blows in Argentina. My father's and my mom's origins are from Argentina. They were born and raised in Argentina, and they moved to Italy to follow my father's dream to be in Modena for cars. So Zonda is a very fast and strong wind that blows on the Argentinian Andes, on the mountains in Argentina. And then also the Huayra means God of wind. So there is this correlation between the power of the wind and the power of the car and this kind of object that is created by these kind of forces and the design and all this is a very complicated combination of all these materials and all this. So this is where it comes from.
Yes, it's beautiful. My wife lived in Argentina for about 3.5 years. Absolutely loved that country. She's wanted to go back ever since. She was in high school at the time. Loved everything about it. But your description there reminded me of the first new car I ever bought. Was a VW Scirocco. I was in college, and of course that word comes from the wind that comes from the Sahara Desert. So I'm kind of smiling a little bit. Obviously not comparing a Scirocco to a Pagani, but for me it was a pretty special car because it was the first one I ever had, and I always liked that name and Cesario design car. Very, very fun. Well, with a name like Pagani, you're pretty much born with car oil in your bloodstream. The DNA is there. But is there a pivotal moment in your life when you knew that you were going to follow in your father's footsteps as far as being a car guy?
Yes. So what's been very special about the relation that my brother and I have with my family, with my parents, is that they always gave us the possibility to be part of the project since the beginning. So they really wanted us to be part of it. They were talking to us like we were already 25 years old, also if we were only kids. So we've been always part of this project. I remember when my father came home from Lamborghini that day when they wanted to buy the Zonda project, and my father, we were sitting in the lunch in the dining room, and he said, "What do you think, Christopher and Leonardo?" We were probably less than 10 years old, and we said, "You don't have to sell your project. You have to go on with your dream and go on with what you want to do." Also, if the easy choice was selling the project and just being an outsider. So it's been a building process for us. For my brother and I, we always been part of this. We always had the possibility to go out from it if we wanted. But I think when you are born with this and you love cars and you have passion, to me, is more also about being proud of what has been done. So I want to kind of continue this dream to go on also for him.
Absolutely. That's very cool. I love it. I love the story behind it, the closeness of the family, and the fact that you all get to work together. That's very, very special. I would like to take a look at some of these roads you've driven down in your life. You're a relatively young man, so you're not an old guy like me, but I'm imagining that you may have faced a challenge or two, maybe even a failure or two. These are wonderful learning lessons if you look at them that way, which is the only way I think you look at challenges like that. So walk us through one that you've been faced with and tell us what you learned from that and how that experience helped you gain even more momentum as you move forward in your business.
So thank you. I think life is about challenge, is about a challenge you face every day. So when I was still living in Italy and working with my family on a daily basis, we realized that we had to build a new factory, a new company, a new headquarters because of the new production, new and more cars, and we needed more space. So we've been working on projects, so we've been working on drawings and designs and all that. And when we came up with the idea and we were ready to go, we were also in the dining room again. We were just talking, because this is a moment where you end up talking about many things. And my father said to my brother and I, "Why don't you take this project as a lead?" So my brother, he studied car design. He's a designer, so he has the creativity like my father. I studied more economics and marketing, so I'm more on the numbers side of the business. And so he said, "Why don't you take this project, the new house for Paganis? Why don't you do it? You and your brother,
Wow.
You take care of this project." I was 24. My brother was 25.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow.
we ended up working on this project for almost 5 years, and now the company is there. There's a new museum, there's a new showroom, and a new production area. So it's there, it's running, and that's why I decided to move on with my career and come also to spend some time here in the U.S.
Yes. Wow. That's a huge project. That's a huge undertaking. And especially for young people that I assume you guys had never done that before. So let me ask you this. When a young person or an older person is tasked with something completely new, something completely spectacular like that, what are a couple words of wisdom you could offer that person that could help them move forward in a positive way so they don't trip up? Because there's a lot of new things to learn with something like that.
I think you always have to find the opportunities, and what I found in this project was really understanding something that was completely out of what we were currently doing every day. So I normally see the positive side of every single challenge, also if it's a sacrifice. Not only we built it, but we also, in terms of finance, we financed all the company. So it was more than 11 million euros project. And
wow.
Imagine 25 years old guy like
Yes.
me to have a budget of 11 million without being into construction any time in my life before. It was a huge project, but I like to study my projects very slowly and be aware of what I'm doing. And also, I think you have to team up with very strong with people that have the experience. So
Yes.
I think what's been good with this is really finding the right actors to make this movie happen. So we would be able to finish it and to do it like we want it.
Yeah, you hit the key words there. Find great teammates to work with, people that can see your vision and carry it through. That's oh so important. Well, congratulations. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine how you even slept that first night when you laid your head on your pillow and thought, oh my goodness, what has Dad tasked me with this time? Oh my gosh, that must have been incredible. Very, very nicely done. Fantastic. I hope I get over there someday to see what you created. Let's have a little bit of fun and talk about your first really special vehicle, your first car that had great meaning for you, and maybe share a memory or two you have about that ride.
So I have something to share on this, and as we started this conversation by saying that I'm pretty young, I think that my best memory that I had is still connected to something very special. It's not a car; it's a Vespa, because when I was 14. And I was working in the summer period in my father's company, washing cars and doing all the process of what you have to learn to then one day be part of something like that. We always shared the passion with my father for Piaggio Vespas, and
Yes.
So I bought a 1970s old Vespa to restore. And what was special about that, it was really the first time I was working on something by myself. I had to remove all the paint, to disassemble the complete Vespa because it was not functional. So it was a nice project to do together also with my father at the time. I was 14 years old, so it was something really, really at the beginning of my skills also on the mechanical side. And I always kept it since when I finished it. It took more than a year to restore it. It was a Vespa, but it took a long time. And now it's there, sitting in the garage. And every time I go back, I like to remember the time I spent with it, also with my father and my brother working together on it. So it's a very special thing.
Yes, no doubt. I love Vespas. The old ones are super cool. And the fact you got to do that with your dad was pretty neat. Do you have a seller's remorse story in your life? It sounds like you like to keep stuff.
We really kind of buy and not sell cars. So we've been fortunate enough to be in a position where we can keep all the cars that we've been buying in the last, let's say, 20 years. And we have a collection of European cars in Italy. We have a small collection of American cars in Argentina that we always keep there. So we try to spend time as much as we can and try to keep them for now.
I think that's a wise thing. Don't change that habit. I've had too many people on this show, including me, that have let things go that wish we never had. So wise man you are there, Christopher. Well, I would love for you to share with our listeners what has you excited about what you're doing with Pagani today, some of the things that we might be able to expect coming down the road, models that you have, and then after we're done talking about that, I want you to talk a little bit about the car that's going to be on the concept car display lawn at Pebble Beach. So what has you fired up and excited these days about what you're doing at Pagani?
So for me and for my team here in the U.S. is mostly, when I talk U.S., is also Canada. It's really to kind of develop the brand in this market. We've been in the market in North America since, let's say, 2011, 2012. We're pretty young here, and we need to develop the brand with our dealer network, with our client base, and get the people to know more about our brand. So now that I'm doing this here in the U.S., taking care of marketing and public relations, for me is try to educate more the people on who is Pagani, how we produce and design cars, and also spend more time with our dealer network and our final customers. I'm still also part of the founder family. So to me, there's also a very big portion of social life that I like to spend time with my clients to also understand what their impressions are on the brand. Also on the other side of the world, we would talk about Italy and America.
One of the things I noticed, I spent some time on your website. It's almost less of a car website and more of a design website, kind of like being a tailor's atelier. I mean, it's absolutely incredible to me as you go through it because it's so different. And thinking of your brand is so unique and different. Obviously, it's for people that have great wealth because these cars are very, very expensive. Is there a different kind of approach that you're having to take on how you tackle the task you have of bringing this brand into this marketplace?
Yes, our cars and how we do all the R&D and how we then go to the studio where we have to design the car. It's a longer process because our designer has to be able to do all the art, all the design part, but also all the technique. So we are fairly different from the others, where you walk into the studio and you have engineers on one side and you have designers on the other side. They do two completely different projects, and then they have to do like a one project from these two. What we've been able to do with our team is to teach the designer to be at the same time an engineer and an artist. So to design a car like that, it takes, let's say, 3-4 times than what normally takes for other car brands today. To design a car for us, it takes at least 7-8 years. On a normal, let's say, business model, it takes not more than 2. It's really in the process of designing and building. And when you said before at the beginning, the details, it's full of details, because when you look at the car from the outside, you look at the interior, you look at all the engine compartment at the front and rear and everything, you can open the car 100% and see that the components down below, they are as beautiful as the ones outside. So it's a big, huge mission we have to make all this, because we think our customers deserve it, and they understand, and they have passion for art and science. And then going back to that,
I love on your website a quote from the great Leonardo da Vinci: "Art and science can walk together hand in hand." In my studies of him back in college, he was as much an artist as a scientist in the way he approached his art. And I think that's, to me, that really signifies the way I view Pagani and the way you're approaching things. I used to have an MV Agusta F4 motorcycle, and the designer of that bike was similar in the sense that when you took the fairings off that bike and you started looking inside, areas where nobody would typically see, he thought about the design aspect of all those things, down to the fasteners. So to me, that's very, very true. I would love for you to share what our viewers who are going to attend Pebble Beach this year can expect to see from Pagani on the concept car display lawn at the Pebble Beach lot.
This is the first time for us that we unveil a car in North America. So we will have the newest Pagani Para Roadster BC at the Quail for the first time, public unveiling. And after that, we will have the same car at the concept lawn in Pebble Beach on Sunday. So we will definitely focus on the newest model. This is, let's say, the ultimate expression of art, because it's a roadster, so it's an open top car. But it's also, BC means for us a car that is very aggressive and also has a track-focused version. So it's a combination of track and beauty. So we will have that car. In that car, there's going to be the new engine this is the first time ever that the Mercedes-Benz AMG approved Pagani to have his name on the engine. So it's not going to be a Mercedes engine. It's going to be a Pagani V12. And that's the first time ever in the history of the German company to approve this. It took us more than 25 years of relationship with them to achieve this, and it's an amazing moment for both of us.
Well, congratulations. I cannot wait to see this car. Fantastic. Christopher, up next is the last lap. Before we put the pedal to the metal, let's say thank you to today's Cars Yeah sponsors. When you want proven performance, there's one brand that's been around since 1938. That's Edelbrock, building the finest American-made performance products for the street and track. Edelbrock's products are designed and dyno-proven to deliver maximum results. Edelbrock has thousands of made-in-the-USA performance products for all makes and models. From their new AVS2 carburetor and innovative ProFlow 4 EFI for your muscle car or truck, to superchargers for your daily driver and more, visit Edelbrock.com to check out the latest products for your ride. And when you're ready to check out, enter Cars Yeah in the coupon code and get 10% off your order. That's Edelbrock, automotive performance since 1938. You take care of your cars, but who takes care of your investments? Tune-ups aren't just for engines. Updating your financial plan is important too. Your GPS may take you from A to B, but it won't help you on the road to financial freedom. For that, you need a good co-pilot and a very trusted advisor. Chris Kimball, CFP, is just the man for the job. He'll guide you down that road without driving you crazy. For over 25 years, Chris has helped people just like you and me with their financial planning and investments. With a master's degree in financial services, he is eminently qualified. And he's a car guy too. Learn more at chrisvkimball.com or call 866-ON-A-PLAN. Securities through Money Concepts Capital Corp. Member FINRA SIPC. CK Financial Services is not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corp. Are you looking for a way to get your products or services into the ears of thousands of automotive enthusiasts around the globe? I can help. This is Mark Green here at Cars Yeah, and I'd be honored to be an influencer and ambassador for your brand in a unique and personal way. 5 days a week, thousands of subscribers and listeners enjoy the Cars Yeah podcast and website. Contact me today and I'll show you how at mark@carsyeah.com or connect with me through the Cars Yeah website at carsyeah.com. Okay, Christopher, we are back, and I have a bit of an introspective question for you. If you were a vehicle, if you were actually manifested into a car tomorrow, not what you want to be, but how you perceive yourself as a car, what kind of car would Christopher be and why?
It's a very special question for me, and this really brings me back to the past because when I was building the new factory, I also was building the new museum. And in the museum, we have a very special car. That is my father's ever first car. That's a Formula 2 he built when he was in Argentina. And that's the car that was mostly crucial for him because thanks to that car, he met Juan Manuel Fangio. And sometimes I feel I wanted to be that car to see how my father was, what he was doing with this car when he was 21, 22 years old when he was building it back in Argentina. And I think there are great stories about it. And it's still probably the most special car we always have there on display.
Very nice. I love that story. Fantastic. All right, Christopher, we're entering the last lap since we're just talking about race cars. I'm going to fire off a series of questions and ask you to give our listeners some quick blips of that Formula 2 race car throttle. So here we go. What's the best automotive advice you've ever received?
The one that I last received was client is your real boss, which means that
yes.
At the end of the day, we don't have a boss because our real boss is the one who's buying the car from us. And
yes.
We have to really work on that.
Absolutely. Great advice. It works in virtually every kind of business. Would you share one of your personal habits you believe has contributed to your many successes over the years?
Well, to me, it's pretty much when it goes back to organizing your activities in the right way and get the team to work all together to perceive a mission like the one we have or the one we had in the past. So it's all about being able to create the team and work together on it.
Yes, very much so. How about a resource? There are so many great resources for us these days. Is there one in particular you'd like to share?
Well, we definitely have our website, Pagani.com. And then as today, everything is going in the direction of the social medias. We have our official page in Instagram and Facebook, Pagani Automobili. And also we like to upload many videos on YouTube of longer videos where you can experience the car. For example, in the Nürburgring, when we go and do the lap record and activities like that.
Yes, absolutely. I would encourage listeners, and I'll put links on Christopher's show notes page. Check out all their social media. It's very cool. Pour yourself a tall drink, though, because you're going to be there a while. You're going to be having some fun enjoying this. Maybe a nice glass of Chianti or something that you enjoy to partake in to enjoy the lifestyle that is Pagani. It's absolutely spectacular. Now, if I could arrange for you to sit down and have a drink or a meal with anyone in the automotive industry, living or deceased, who would that be?
It would be definitely Juan Manuel Fangio, because he's been such an important person for the family. When he was coming to Italy to spend time with my father, I remember he was sleeping in the bed next to my brother and I. So
oh my gosh.
But wow. I was really too young for really talking to him. But if I can go back, I would love to spend at least a dinner with him and understand how things were going at the time.
Wow, incredible. Now, is there a book that you'd like to share with our listeners that you've enjoyed reading?
One book that I really like is about the Toyota quality system and is The Toyota Way from Jeffrey Liker. We really study a lot of quality also in Pagani because we feel there's a lot of things to learn on all the other car brands today. So definitely Toyota has been the number one, and we strongly believe that we have to study what has been done and what they're still doing today.
Yes. Yeah. Great book. Fantastic. All right, Christopher, we're up to the checkered flag, and this last question can be a bit of a doozy. Today, I'm going to buy you any cool car in the world. Doesn't matter what it is or where it is. I'm going to acquire it for you, collector car, something fun. But there are a couple rules to this game. One is you can't sell it to buy a bunch of other toys with or fund your business. Two is no garage queens. I want you to drive this car and enjoy it. And it's the only cool collector car you can have in your garage. So what can I buy you today?
It's going definitely to be the Zonda, the 001, the first one we ever made. Because it's such a special machine to me and to my family. And it's a car you can drive. It's a car you can really enjoy and love, and there's an attachment to it. We just restored it, and it's going to be in Pebble Beach as well. So you'll all have the chance to see it. And it's a chassis 001, so the first Zonda ever made.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that? Another reason to go to Pebble Beach. Like I need any reasons at all, but there's millions. But that is fantastic. Now, where does that car reside these days? Where does it live?
It's in the museum. It's normally in Italy, but as this year is the 20th anniversary celebration, there is a series of events this car is going to do around the world. So it started in Hong Kong, and then it went to Italy, and then to the UK, and then now it's coming to the US for a few months.
Wow!
And then it's going
World
to
traveler.
To the Middle East. So it's going all over the world this year.
Wow! Incredible! Cannot wait to see that. Christopher, you taking me on a very cool ride today. I knew this was going to be fun. I want to thank you for sharing your life and family story around Pagani. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to meet you on the lawn at Pebble Beach. Could you offer us a parting piece of wisdom and or guidance before you drive off into the sunset in that beautiful Zonda chassis number 001?
Well, I would like to also thank you for the time today. It's been a great pleasure to spend time with you, and to finish this podcast, I would really encourage and tell everybody that at the end of the day they have to follow their dream, because as we strongly believe in what we want to do and where we want to be one day, I think it's something we have to build every day, and something that we have to keep fighting and do a lot of sacrifice for what we want to achieve. But we've seen this possible, and we still need to continue working on it on a daily basis and on a long-term view.
Absolutely. Well, the pleasure's been all mine, Christopher. This has been really fun. I was so excited to have you on this show. I want to shout out to Sandra Button and Candace, and also a shout out to Victor Carrillo of the ID Agency. Victor's been a past guest here. He's the one that was primarily responsible for getting you on this show, so I want to thank him for doing that. And I'll make sure that all of you listeners, you can go to the Cars Yeah website, go to Christopher Pagani's page. I will put links to everything we've talked about today so that you can enjoy that. Christopher, thanks for being so generous today with your time, your expertise, and your incredible life story with your family and Pagani. Until you and I talk again, my friend, I'll see you on the lawn at Pebble Beach.
Thank you very much, Mark. Looking forward to spend some time together again. And thanks for everybody to listen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Grazie. Hey, Mark Green here from Cars Yeah. Did you know you can now see me on the Cars Yeah TV show? It's a weekly visit to some of my past Cars Yeah podcast guests, and I take you along for the ride. You go behind the garage door and into their lives, their businesses, and you get to see what makes them successful. With tens of millions of viewers, Cars Yeah TV is making its mark. Cars Yeah TV is available on MAV TV and Lucas Oil Racing TV. You'll find MAV TV on Direct TV, Fubo TV, Fios by Verizon, or you can stream it through Lucas Oil Racing Television online. And they said I only had a face for podcasting.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.